from Bigfoot-like beasts to wolves of gigantic proportions, here are 14 lesser-known cryptids of the United States. Perhaps you've seen one. Number 14. The Tuttle Bottoms Monster. The Tuttle Bottoms Monster is famous in Harrisburg, Illinois. This legendary creature is said to live in a swampy area, described as being hairy and ape-like, with a long snout that resembles an anteater's. And it was sometimes said to walk on 4 legs. Starting in the 1960s, more than 50 reports spanning 3 decades were logged regarding an unidentified creature seen in swamps near Harrisburg. Not much is known about this cryptid, and sightings of it have dwindled over the years. A local resident in the 60s claimed that the creature was not a monster from mythology, but an actual animal that was released by the federal government, that of course later died, maybe from old age. Even though it seems to have disappeared, the monster's legend remains strong, and some people think it's still out there, lurking somewhere. Number 13. White Death. This monster from Alaska is known as the White Death, or less scary, the Alaskan tiger, and is said to inhabit the swampy areas near the town of Paxton, Alaska. According to the legend, this is a savage feline that some witnesses claim resembles the saber-toothed cat. Others draw a link to the Siberian tiger. After killing a human, it's said that a stripe will develop on the animal's back. It has a roar so loud and scary, it will make your chest rattle. There was a special episode of Alaska Monsters where they said it was 9 feet long, 1,000 pounds, and 5 to 6 feet at the shoulder. It's said to have been around for 1,200 years, sent to protect Alaska. Number 12. The Green-Clawed Beast. Among the most unusual cryptids on this list is a water dweller from Indiana. Most sources claim that it has only been sighted once. That was in 1955, when it allegedly attacked a woman who was swimming in the Ohio River near Evansville. She claimed that a clawed hand grabbed her leg and dragged her down into the water twice before a companion helped her to escape. After arriving on the shore, the woman's leg displayed signs of trauma. Most notable was a palm-sized green stain where the creature had grabbed her. Some unsubstantiated reports claim that an Air Force officer visited the woman and advised her never to speak about the incident. No detailed description of the monster was ever issued, but most people liken it to the Gill Man from the 1954 film Creature from the Black Lagoon. Could there be a connection? And now for number 11. But first, let me know what you think of these stories in the comments below. And if you haven't hit that subscribe button yet, well, do it. Number 11. Raven Mocker. This one is more of a mythological creature than a classic cryptid, but it's still worth a mention. According to legends of the Appalachia Cherokee Indian tribe, this is a witch that assumes the form of a raven to watch over people and decides upon a victim. Not unlike a lion targeting the weakest member of a herd of antelope, the Raven Mocker will seek a victim that is in a weakened state or dying. Once identified, the witch will take to the sky and transform into a fireball before diving upon its prey to snatch out their heart. It is one of the most feared of the Cherokee witches. It can be either male or female, and it looks withered and old. Only one who has the right medicine can recognize the Raven Mocker and protect the person by scaring them away. If one of them is recognized, they will die within 7 days. Number 10. The Erie Lake Chomper. In the early 2000s, reports emerged about a strange aquatic beast that was attacking swimmers in Lake Erie. One victim said she could feel jaws clamping around her calf and bite into her flesh as she swam. Staggering to the shore, she found a 6-inch or 15-centimeter circular bite wound that was dripping blood. Shortly after the incident, the creature attacked a father and his son in the lake. The child needed critical medical attention and was rushed to a hospital. As reports of the Chomper's existence spread, so too did guesses about its identity. Wildlife experts ruled out snapping turtles, lamprey eels, and piranhas as possible suspects. Since its bite marks had a resemblance to that of cookie-cutter sharks, that animal was strongly considered. Most sources now think the animal was probably a bowfin. Those fish are known to aggressively protect their spawn and make quick strikes at intruders. Number 9. The Michigan Dogman. This cryptid has reportedly prowled the woods of northwest lower Michigan since the late 1880s. It's described as a 7-foot tall or 2.1 meter bipedal canine type creature with a human torso. It's especially noted for emitting a blood-curdling shriek that sounds unsettlingly like that of a human. Notable attacks by the beast were reported from the 1930s through the 1960s, but the Dogman didn't become more widely known until the 80s, when a song about the creature became a regional hit. Stories of these creatures date back to the 1880s, when two lumberjacks saw a creature with a dog's head and a man's body. He's mostly encountered by people who work in the woods, that are alone or very isolated. This Dogman will jump out in front of cars on isolated roads, or howl and scratch at people's tents, and will even scare people to death. Who knows what all is living in the forests of Michigan? Number 8. Cactus Cats. These cryptids have been reported in the southwestern United States. They were first described by pioneers in the 19th century. Those eyewitnesses said the creatures resembled bobcats that had thorn-like fur, a branched tail, and sharp bones that protruded from their front legs, wandering around the desert. The critters were observed to come out at night and slash open cacti to drink the exposed sap. Attacks were rarely reported, but some cowboys were known to wake up with welts on their body thought to be the result of the cat's barbed tail. Their eerie wailing sound was said to resemble that of a puma. That has led some cryptozoologists to speculate whether the cactus cat was really a misidentified wildcat all along. Let us know in the comments what you think. Number 7. The Ohio Grassman. Bigfoot is most commonly sighted in the Pacific Northwest, but variations of shaggy bipedal ape-like creatures are reported in many regions of the United States. One of the lesser-known variants allegedly dwells in Ohio. He's usually seen in wooded areas where he lived in a small hut-like structure that's built from tall grass, which accounts for the nickname. Not unlike similar cryptids, this one is about 8 feet tall, or almost 2.5 meters, and weighs around 450 pounds, or 204 kilograms. But the Grassman is usually described as being far more aggressive than other Sasquatch. They've been known to Native Americans of the Buckeye State since the 1700s. Numerous sightings have been reported, with the most recent occurrence in early 2020. Two men allegedly encountered the creature while flying drones at Ohio's Salt Fork State Park. Number 6. The Louisiana Werewolf. Loup-garou is a French term that refers to a human that can transform into an animal. It usually refers to a werewolf. So does rougarou, which occurs in Louisiana. Cajun legends tell of a creature that prowls the swamps around Greater New Orleans. It's usually described as a beast with a wolf's head and a human body, and is known to emit some blood-curdling howls in the night. Some sources claim that these creatures are held under a curse that's cast by a local witch. To transfer the curse, they have to bite another human victim within 101 days. Even though this one is more of a legend, we included it because sightings of the rougarou have persisted into the 21st century. Did you know that the NBA team New Orleans Pelicans initially considered rougarou as their mascot? In Louisiana, the beast is a pop culture icon. Number 5. Did a direwolf survive? Today, the name Direwolf might be more connected to the fictional animals featured on Game of Thrones, but their real-life counterparts existed until 9,500 years ago, and their fossils have been found in many areas of the United States. But in 2018, reports emerged from Montana about a canine beast that evoked a lot of comparisons to the dire wolf. However, if the animal did somehow manage to escape extinction, it couldn't survive a 21st century bullet. A rancher near the town of Denton shot and killed it when it approached his livestock. The animal was first thought to be a wolf, but several of its physical traits didn't seem to match up. When pictures appeared online, guesses as to its identity included it being a werewolf, or a wolf-dog hybrid that was released into the wild. The truth was later revealed from a DNA analysis, so here's the spoiler. The beast was positively ID'd as a female gray wolf that originated in the northern Rocky Mountains. While some people were a bit disappointed by that reveal, at least this particular cryptid mystery is solved. Number 4. The White River Monster. Initial sightings of this beast date to 1915, but plenty of local lore contends they've been active since before the Civil War. It's typically reported in northeastern Arkansas on the White River. Most accounts typically describe it as a large beast with gray wrinkled skin and a face like that of a catfish. During certain encounters, it has made noises that sound like a combination of a cow and a horse. Evidence of the monster's existence include 5-toed tracks that it allegedly made that measure about 14 inches long, or 36 centimeters. Aside from it being a big aquatic creature, not much is known about this one. Some sources think it might have been a wayward tarpon. Those are powerful animals that can measure 8 feet or 2.5 meters long and weigh some 280 pounds or 127 kilograms. Whatever the creature might be, the Arkansas state government created an official refuge for it within an area of the White River in 1973. Number 3. The Oklahoma Octopus. This mysterious creature is said to inhabit 3 lakes in Oklahoma. Legend has it that this reddish-brown monster is the size of a horse, but resembles an octopus. It reportedly uses its long arms to attack and kill swimmers. Because octopuses are ocean creatures, it seems unlikely that they could thrive in freshwater environments, but certain marine animals can adapt from saltwater to freshwater conditions. A good example is the bull shark, which can survive in both environments. So it's possible that a giant cephalopod could have been trapped within an inland lake when coastal waters receded and managed to adapt. Many believers point to the large number of unexplained drownings in the Oklahoma lakes as proof of the cryptid's presence. To date, there's still no physical evidence to corroborate that. Number 2. South Bay Bessie. This monster has reportedly inhabited Lake Erie since the late 18th century, and it's another aquatic cryptid with a serpentine form similar to the Loch Ness Monster, and measures more than 30 feet or 9 meters in length. Sightings continued through the late 20th century, and inspired locals to post a reward for its live capture, dead or alive. Depending on the source, that reward ranged from $5,000 to $100,000. Number 1. The Big Muddy Monster. This one is also known as the Murfreesboro Mud Monster, since it appeared in the namesake town of Illinois. During the early 1970s, citizens were so scared of this Yeti-like beast that they rarely ventured outside their homes. The monster was initially reported in 1973 by a couple who had parked at a site overlooking the Big Muddy River. While sitting there, they heard a blasting eagle-like shriek in the night. Then they saw a huge bipedal beast trudging toward them that emitted a powerful stench. Many sightings of the monster were later reported by other eyewitnesses. Almost all of the accounts described an animal that stood more than 7 feet tall, or 2 meters, and weighed around 400 pounds, or 181 kilograms, was covered in shaggy, light-colored fur, and had glowing pink eyes. There were so many sightings that the local police conducted a search for the monster that was ultimately unsuccessful. The last reported sightings occurred near Murfreesboro around 1975, but many people think the monster is still out there today. What do you think it could have been? Thanks for watching this episode. Did you like the video? Tell us what you think in the comments below. Be sure to like, follow, and subscribe.